as forceps, knives, sponges, scissors. These things you can see today on the walls of the Temple of Kum Ambo in north of Aswan. You can see that today. The world's present knowledge of the human body and of surgical techniques rests on the pioneering work of Rimich physicians and mortuary specialists who were the first to map the human circulatory system and the spinal column as a transmitter of information. They also practiced trepanning, which is a method of revealing pressure inside the cranium by boring a hole in the skull. And that borehole may also have been a way of gaining access to the brain to treat disease. They were also able to access the brain case by way of nasal passages through which they actually removed the brain during the embalming process. So this knowledge has been around. So the Ebers, back to the Ebers medical papyrus, was discovered around 1500 BCE. And these are photos of what it looked like and still look like to this day. So what is the Ebers Papyrus? It's the first documented treatise on medicine and surgical techniques, documenting the history of medicine. It's an oldest known preserved medical record, and it's a 110-page scroll that we just saw pieces of. Written in hieratic, which is a cursive form of the hieroglyphics. Contains over 600 spells, which were thought to have help cure disease and drive out malignant forces. The Remich did not separate the scientific from the spiritual. So again, it was said to be written around 1500 BCE, but however, some believe the contents may have been copied from another medical papyrus that was even earlier than that. It documents medical discoveries specifically by describing disease conditions, treatment, and prognosis. It reveals that herbal remedies, in addition to surgical treatments, were widely used. And it is currently housed at the University of Leipzig Library in Germany. Yeah, how nice. So some historical facts about this papyrus. The sources is not yet known, so I'm sure, as time goes on, certain more things will be revealed. And Hassari was the oldest known physician. Imhotep was the first recorded physician. This thing with the Greeks, Hippocrates was born almost 2,000 years after medical texts were being written in Kemet, yet he became known as the father of medicine. Germany top Egyptologist George Moritz Ebers, again, was credited with the discovery of the papyrus, and this is a copy of what it looked like in German, when it was, I guess, translated. So we're going to talk about who he is, or was, and what the classical Greeks say about the Rimich use of medicine, and what are European scientists saying today. And then what are some of the other contents of the papyrus. So we'll look at those things. So this is Mr. Ebers. He was a mid-19th century German Egyptian novelist who conceived the idea of popularizing Egyptian lore by means of historical romances. So he studied Egyptian history and antiquities and took 2 scientific journeys to Egypt, and later became known as an Egyptologist. And he purchased the papyrus in Thebes from Edwin Smith, who was an American farmer. So based on his purchase, the Kemetic medical papyrus was named the Ebers Papyrus. So, what did the classical Greeks say about the rimage? Well, by the 5th century, Herodotus wrote about Kemet that medicine is practiced among them on a plan of separation. Each physician treats a single disease and no more. Thus, the country abounds, it abounds with physicians, some undertaken to cure the disease of the eyes, others of the head, others again on the teeth, others of the intestine, and some of those which are internal. These are quotes. Yes, even there, they were specializing. So, this same Greek historian visited Kemet around 440 BCE and wrote extensively of his observations of the medicinal practices. And I'm going to try to pronounce some of these Greek names. I don't know, but I'm going to try some of them. Who is he? Pliny. Pliny the Elder also wrote favorably of Kemetic medicine in Historic Review. So we have Hippocrates again, and then all these other ones I'm not going to try. And later, they studied at the temple of Amenhotep and acknowledged the contribution of classical Kemet to Greek medicine. So back then, they acknowledged them before they moved forward with what they were going to do. Then Homer remarked in the Odyssey, that book that we all read in high school or also college. In Egypt, the men are more skilled in medicine than any of humankind. The Egyptians were skilled in medicine more than any other art. This is what was written in the Odyssey. Okay, I see you looking at me. Okay, okay, 21st century European scientists. Okay, in 2007 and 2008, a British research team from the KNH Center for Biomedical Egyptology at the University of Manchester, who examined medical papyri, reported on their multi-year study on Egyptian pharmacology. The scientists who examined the papyrus confirmed and reported that the origins of medicine lie in ancient Kemet and not with Hippocrates and the Greeks. So we're talking 2007 and 2008 that they're finally acknowledging it from scientific work. And then this particular scientist, she said, quote, "Many of the ancient remedies we discovered survived into the 20th century, and indeed, some remain in use today, albeit that the active component is now produced synthetically." She also said, "Classical scholars have always considered the ancient Greeks, particularly Hippocrates, as being the father of medicine, but their findings, suggest that the ancient Egyptians were practicing a credible form of pharmacy and medicine much earlier." Okay, so it's finally coming to light for the Europeans. Yeah, they finally had to say, okay, this is really what's happening. And these are some of the other contents of the papyrus. 9 minutes. Mental disorders are detailed in a chapter of the papyrus called the Book of Hearts. Disorders such as depression and dementia are covered. The papyrus contains chapters on contraception, diagnosis of pregnancy, and other gynecological matters, which you'll hear about later, I think, from our sister Amina. I think she may talk about that. Slightly, okay. Section on psychiatry. It talks about diabetes, hookworm, arthritis. And then they documented natural herbs and holistic medicine that saved lives and cured disease. Honey was used for the production of medicines and ointments. They consumed raw garlic and onions for endurance and to heal asthma and other things. My last page, on time, almost. Some Ebers papyrus treatments. And so you can see here some of the other treatments that, and that's my historical tribute. There was, yeah, in the research I did, they also talked about spells. Yes. Heretic. 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 More cursive than.
And the information you got about the recent study that they did, was that
Yeah.
in an article or what?
I was able to see a newspaper article, and then you can also research it back, I guess, to those actual,
Okay.
that actual study.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was really interesting to see that they have finally said, okay, we have to fess up now to the reality. So,
I'm interested in the spells because of the metaphysical, the use of the metaphysics to cure. And so I'll talk to you more about that.
okay.
So they're going to suggest Hippocrates is no longer the father of medicine? Did they go that far?
Well, they said that. These scientists said that.
Yeah.
And those were quotes from them. Now, whether or not it goes anywhere
further?
beyond their study is another
Exactly.
question.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's hear it for Sister Mona. And her second is her tribute, and she finished the tribute so quickly that we have time for some music. So I'm going to ask Brother Tahuti, the minister from Sacramento, who's going to bring us a message this morning, to come up and, if you don't mind, just play for us for a selection or two. Brother Tahuti, Minister Brother Tahuti from Sacramento. Minister.
Brother Ty came up and actually hung out with us last Sunday. It was a blessing, of course.
So they made replays, so I'm making them play.
That's right. This is a song that actually our sister, Sacramento Sister Valeria, you guys know Sister Valeria, and she brought this song. She said, "Won't say." She got the actual melody from another song, and then she wrote some lyrics herself, and then as she presented, we all helped to add a little tidbit here to the music, and the song is called "Won't Say," and it's the chord that starts off whoa 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 say. That's kind of the ongoing for everybody to get in there, but I'll see if I can work it out here.
Okay.
Whoa, 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 say. Whoa, 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 say. Whoa, 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 say. Whoa, 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 say. Chico, come. Can you? Got it. Oh, there we go. Oh, say, children come from broken home, grow up and feel alone. Kids from good families don't appreciate what they own. Let me take you to a place Whoa, say yeah. Let me take you to a place. Yeah. Whoa, 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 say. Whoa, 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 say. Whoa, 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 say. Whoa, 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 say. Let me know my sister say, do you know my brother? Do you know my people? Whoa, 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 say. Whoa, 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 say. Whoa, 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 say. We'll do that verse again. Children come from broken homes, grow up and feel alone. And kids from good families grow, don't know what they own. Let me take you to a place. I said, whoa, say. Let me take you to a place, yeah. Whoa, 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 say. Whoa, 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 say. Do you know my sister said, do you know my brother? Do you know my people talking about whoa, 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 say. Whoa, 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 say. We'll say. Now, you know, of course, I fumbled through it, but it's a song. We're going to work on it. We're going to perfect it, and we're going to record it.
Greetings, I'm in Rahatep. This is the time for us to have another sort of reflection on giving, being grateful, being appreciative for all that we have. For in the Hosea, it says, gives us the instruction to be generous as long as you live. What goes into the storehouse should come out. For bread is made to be shared. Those whose bellies are empty turn into accusers, and those who are deprived become opponents. See that none such as these are your neighbors. Generosity is a memorial for those who show it long after they have departed. So we know that giving, we give in all different types of ways. We share, we love, we help we receive. And at this time, it's time for us to give monetarily so that we continue. Thank you. Right on time, wasn't she? She said, look like you need an envelope. So that we continue our great work, for we know that not only our physical labor is needed, but also the abundance that we've been given in our pockets. So we have Ty who will attend the altar, and we will share and read together our litany of sacrifice in Guzo Saba. So can I get everyone to stand as Jalea does her job well? Thank you, Jalea. She's been watching. So that shows you that our children watch what we do and then they repeat it. So when we see our children doing things that we don't think they should do, they have seen it somewhere. For we are their first teachers. So as we read together, save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call upon God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We will praise your name, O Amun-Ra, for it is good. Umoja. Unity. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Kujichagulia. Self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves. Ujima. Collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our community together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together. Ujima, cooperative economics. Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them. Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and development of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness. Kuumba, creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited. Imani, faith. We shall believe with all our hearts in our Creator, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Amen-Ra. Ashe. So prepare for our prayer. And okay, thank you. Thank you, Jalea. Anyone who would like to come to the altar is there. Oh, Amun-Ra, creator of all things, thank you for this moment of giving. Thank you, for we know that giving brings gifts. We get back that in which we give, in the way in which it is needed, and we thank you. Thank you for reciprocity. Thank you for this place that we can come on Sunday to be with one another and to share and to give that in which we have. Thank you. Thanking you for those who have come before us, those who have given in order for us to have. I say thank you. Thanking you for our family and community that could not be with us today. Thank you for their thoughts, for I know they think of us. Thank you. Thank you for historical tribute that we have that continues to share in our knowledge. All of these things I am thankful for, we are thankful for, and we honor our ancestors in that. And I say to you, Ashe and Amin Ra.